self-care is a scam. There, I said it. I know that is not a popular opinion, especially coming from a therapist. But here's the thing. We are constantly being fed this idea that self-care is ultimately going to save us. And while it is incredibly important, self-care is not the solution that we've been sold that it is. And there are a couple of reasons. There's actually a lot of reasons that I say what I say about self-care. First being just the simple commodification of care. At this point, self-care is like $1 trillion industry, right? We're selling services and group coaching and green juices and adaptogenics and, nervous system resets and yoga classes and the right shoes and the right yoga mat and the this and that and on and on and on. Our well-being should not be for sale. It perpetuates this division among classes in terms of who actually has the privilege, the right, the access to self-care. And so from that standpoint alone, I think we are in a place where we're thinking of self-care really problematically. Beyond that, and sort of my moral philosophies around the commodification of wellness in general, self-care is often provided to us as an individual solution. But the reality is that so much of what we're going through is systemic and relational in nature. And while we absolutely, as adults, need to take full accountability for our wellness, for how we're doing, for how we survive, for how we thrive, those things that we do, our approach, has got to be rooted in community and connection. It also has to acknowledge the fact that some of the things that are depleting us, some of the things that wear away at us, are systemic, are not going away anytime soon. There are not enough magnesium baths or mental health walks or kale salads to free us of some of the things that we are trying to just live through. And finally, and I think this is when I think about my own approach to self-care and my own sort of dilemmas in the world, and I think a lot about the clients I work with, I think this third reason why I say self-care is a scam, why self-care is insufficient. That's really what I should be saying, right? Self-care is insufficient. This third reason I think is the most important, maybe, or at least it resonates the most with so many of the men and women that I work with. And that is, it has become one more place to fail and one more thing to do. Self-care is mostly presented to us as a list of things to do. And in our grind culture, constantly busy lives, one more thing to do is not a solution to feeling better. It is not a solution to thriving in a sustainable way. And when we miss the mark, when we skip that class, when we forget to, eat that salad or take our medicine or whatever it is, it becomes another place for us to be self-critical and judgmental. So what are we supposed to do? Self-compassion. Self-compassion is what will sustain us. It is a shift from what do I do to take care of myself to how can I be with myself in ways that nurture my wellness, my growth, my flourishing. Self-compassion also kind of calls us into a devotion to self, learning how to create consistent routines, implement various coping strategies and wellness practices, build relationships that are all centered around a value of self, that you are worthy of ongoing self-nurturance. You are worthy of a life that actually sustains you, not just on the good days, but through the hard times too. You need more, you deserve more. And I hope that you will continue to follow me and to continue to learn more about self-compassion as a practice, as a replacement for these self-care strategies that are simply insufficient for what you need to survive.